Thank you all for joining us. So today we're going to discuss about how, cause of disagreement in marriages about money. Money is the number one cause of divorce in North America. Money is the number one cause of couple arguing and couple fighting. More couple fight about money than anything else. So it's a very important topic. So we're going to get right in. I gave some people a few minutes to join us. So we have a lot to discuss, but we're going to have a very short show. The show is not going to be long today. It's just to give a few tips here. So I'm going to talk about 5 things to avoid conflict over money. All right, so money, as we know, is the number one cause of divorce. More couples fight about money than anything else. So we realize that's an important subject, an important topic that we need to address, especially in the immigrant community. I see more family broken up over money. I see more divorce happening over money. Money, as some people say, is the root of all evil, but it's not really. If you learn how to deal with your money, if you learn how to manage your money, it can be something enjoyable. It can create more. Happiness in the couple. It's all a matter of learning how to deal with your money, learning how to manage your money. So I hope all of you guys tune in. We have some small tips that we're gonna discuss. Now, my show is usually about money talk. Is usually about, we assume that this is a couple that there's respect in the couple. The husband values his wife and the wife values the husband. There's respect and there is love in this couple. I'm not talking about lost couples here. I'm not talking about couples that need counseling on a lot of other things. So here we are just trying to help families that have those basic things in place, right? So then we can just help a little bit on other subjects. So please bear with us. So if I jump on something, feel free to comment. If you have something you want to emphasize, I can talk about it. Our show will only be 30 to 40 minutes today. So we just began our show. So now we're going to talk about how to resolve money conflicts in the couple, in the family. Because this puts a lot of weight on any family and it puts a lot of weight on couples. So how are we solving this conflict? How are we addressing this issue about money with couples? So I did write a lot of things, but the number one thing is communication. Now, a couple that wants to succeed, a couple that wants to be good with their money, there has to be communication in the marriage. This is huge. Without communication, without clear and understandable communication, nothing will work. So couples have to make their effort in talking about money. You have to talk often about money to your partner. Now, it's a subject that everybody wants to avoid. It's like the elephant in the room. People don't want to talk about money. And I understand. But now it creates a lot of conflict, and sometimes those conflicts are hidden. Sometimes those conflicts just begin as being people having a grudge, people being a little bit disgruntled, and then it blows into a bigger fight. So the best thing is to communicate. Communication is the way to avoid a lot of money problems. Communication is the way to avoid a lot of money issues. I hope everyone is our video and sound is coming okay. So if not, let us know so we can improve something. Technology has its issues. So I'm gonna start first of all with how to avoid this fight. How to talk about money. I have 5 things that I wrote down. I have my paper here. I have 5 things that I wrote down about how to solve money issues in the relationships. So I'm gonna start with number 1. So the number one way to solve money problems in the couple is to keep your cool, right? Keep your cool, right? What does that entail? Keeping your cool. Keeping your cool means, when things get heated, when you guys start arguing about money, instead of putting, gas on the fire, choose to retract. Choose to just let it cool first before you can get in, right? So avoid, making the fight worse. So keeping your cool means even though you have a lot more to say, choose to not say. My mom always sent this song to my sisters and said, jifunze kunyamaza. There's a song in Swahili says, jifunze kunyamaza. So a lot of times when couples start fighting about money, one has to retreat. One has to say, okay, I understand things are getting heated right now. Let's hold on. Let's hold on about this topic and we can take it after. Right? So you're not abandoning, you're not really giving up on the subject, but because things are getting heated, it's a good idea to just retract a little bit. To just, take back your step a little bit. And it will help solve the conflict. So that's number one. So keeping your cool when things get heated. You can resume the subject later because money is a sore subject. Money is an issue that's persistent with so many couples. Right? So it's not just one couple, it's a lot of couples have issues with money. So I'm gonna read a verse here. So we're gonna read Ecclesiastes. Yeah, Ecclesiastes. We're gonna read Ecclesiastes what? Ecclesiastes what's my verse here again? So let's start with Ecclesiastes 10. Yeah, we're gonna read a verse just to put things in perspective. 4:12. We're Ecclesiastes 4:12. I like to read a little bit. It puts things in perspective. So in 4:12, Ecclesiastes, it says, a person standing alone can be attacked and defeated, but two can stand back to back and conquer. Three are even better, for a triple-braided cord is not easily broken. Now, that's Ecclesiastes 4:12. So marriage is about two people coming together. And it always says that two shall become one. So this oneness is in everything. And I want to emphasize so much on this because today we're talking about money fights. It's you have to get a habit of talking about money with your partner. Conversation about money should be regular in a home in order to avoid this fight. There has to be conversation regularly about subjects that concerns money. You have to have clear communication when it comes to money. If you want to avoid the problems with money, there has to be clear communication. And as I said, the number one thing is keep your cool. If there's a fight, find a way to solve this fight. Right? The number one thing I'm going to say again is something that's most important. And I said it yesterday on another show. Couples that have a joint account, couples that all their money goes into one account, succeed more and they succeed faster than couples that have separate accounts. I know we can have our opinions on this subject, but if you are married, I'm talking to people who are married. If you are married and you're in a serious relationship where you guys live together, it's key and it's very, very important to have one account. Have one joint account where all your money comes in. This is a different, if you have a business, that's a different story. Now, when you put all your money together, it creates trust. Relationship, marriage is all about trust. Trust is number one in the relationship. So once you do that, once you combine your account, it creates trust. You guys can talk more about money. Studies have shown, study after studies have shown that when people put everything together, these couples succeed. It has been proven. These couples succeed more than and faster than couples that have everything separate. I hear a lot of women say, a lot of people say, you know what, I want to have my money, I want him to have his money. And then we can have a joint account for family needs. That's okay. But studies have shown, it has been proven that having a one account combined helps the marriage. Those marriages succeed better. Those marriages improve, thrive in fact, than having separate accounts. So you might disagree with me on that subject, but I just want to give you an advice. You want to have a better marriage, you want to have a better relationship, learn to combine your accounts together. Learn to put everything together. It creates trust. It creates showing that there's nothing to hide, right? So that's one. So another thing I'm going to say is you need to be transparent and open. What do I mean by that? That's number two. You have to be transparent and you have to be open, right? Talk about money. There shouldn't be secrets. This one should not be hiding money from someone. This one should not be spending more than this one. There has to be openness and there has to be transparency in order to deal with your money better, in order to avoid fights about money. Right? When there's secret in the relationship, when there's secret about money, it undermines the trust in the marriage. So when there's secret, it undermines trust in the marriage. There has to be openness and there has to be transparency in order for you guys to succeed financially together. So learn to become open. Learn to become transparent. For a lot of men who are immigrants, especially in my community, a lot of men think that they are the only one who are supposed to deal with money. They are the only one who are supposed to handle the finances. And that's bad, because then the other partner is kind of in the dark and doesn't know what's happening. So there has to be transparency and openness, no secret, in order for you guys to succeed financially together, right? Secret, as I said, undermines the marriage. You have to be on the same page when it comes to your finances, when it comes to paying your debt, when it comes to whatever it is, be on the same page. So that's number two. I said number one is keep your cool, keep your calm. When there's fights over money, don't overblow it. Don't go extreme, because what happens is sometimes you say things you didn't mean to say, but they've already been said and you cannot take those words back. Words are very, very powerful, right? So avoid getting in a heated argument and then say things that you are going to regret. That's why sometimes it's good to keep your calm, keep your cool, be the bigger person. Right? And then talk about money again after, because money is a sore subject, but it needs to be discussed. Couples that succeed often talks about money. They talk about their budget. We're going to get to that point later. So number two was be open and transparent. There shouldn't be secret, because secrets undermine the trust in the marriage. So you guys have to be open about your spending, about everything. You have to be on the same page. So I hope you're writing down. If you're not writing, take mental notes about what we are saying. We're just trying to help families. We are trying to help marriages. We are trying to help couples out there with their money issues. So number three because I said our video is going to be quicker today. I want to strongly suggest, if anyone is watching us, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Go on YouTube under Baraka Mulimbwa, subscribe to our channels, like our videos, comment on it. That's how we build our channel. So I want to thank you guys for those who have subscribed. We get so many people subscribing. Keep subscribing. Share our video with your friend. It might help another couple. Please share this video, because it might help another couple not fight over money. Right? So our third points today is do it together. What do I mean by that? Doing it together is this. These couples where one partner deals with money, one partner deals with the bills and all that, and the other partner is in the dark, there's always issues in those couples. Because one person only knows the other, and most couples, there's a spender and a saver. Right? So to avoid one person doing everything when it comes to money, learn to do it together. Talk about it together. Do your budgets together. Right? If only one person is in charge of bills and finances, issues are going to happen. If only one person is in charge of the finances in the house, if only one person is in charge of paying all the bills, taking care of all the financial needs of the house, issues are meant to come. They will come, right? In order to avoid those issues, do things together. Sit down, do your budgets together, pay your bills together, learn to do things together. That's our number 3 points today. That's the third point today. Do things together, right? It's easier to agree when you are both financially informed. It's easier to agree on how to deal with something, how to pay a certain bill, how to help a friend, how to help family, how to do any emergency when you are both informed. It's easier to do that than doing it alone. So do it together. Sit down often as a couple and talk about your goals. Talk about your budget. Do it together. It will alleviate a lot of problems, a lot of stress, and a lot of fights in the couple. So please do it together. It's easier to agree when you are both financially informed. When you see eye to eye as a couple. You have to learn to see eye to eye as a couple when it comes to finances. You have to learn to deal things, to solve these issues together, right? Not one person is the boss and the other one is just follow along. No. There has to be a joint effort in working together to solve these issues. Prioritize things, take care of, example, helping bills, helping friends. You have to prioritize sitting and doing things together. It's very important to avoid money fights in the couple. This is our third point today, and I said it's what? Do things together. My friends who are listening, please share this video with your friends. I will give a recap a little bit afterwards, but it's key to avoid money problems because money and finances are the #1 cause of divorce in North America. Let's avoid these fights. That's why I made this video today. So another thing is the #4 point we're going to talk about today. You have to agree to a budget. Now, this is a huge topic here. But I will try to be a little bit brief. You have to learn to agree on a budget. Come together, draw your budget together. My message today is to do things together. My biggest point I want you to take out of this video today is to learn to do things together. Learn to talk about money. Learn to talk about your budget. Learn to do things together. So you have to agree. This is our 4th point. Agree to a budget. Learn to plan a budget. Sit down, draw your budget down. Agree, both of you guys, on it. The best way to avoid argument of money is to have a budget. This way, you both plan on payments, on bills. Especially, it's better when a partner that you have both come to this understanding. Right? So agreeing to a budget is very important. It will help you plan for things. My friend Eric always said, failing to plan is planning to fail. Failing to plan is planning to fail. So do everything you can, but you have to agree on a budget. So most couples, they have two people. Two people who are different. One can be a spender and the other one can be a saver. There's always couples like that. That's how it usually is. One person just wants to spend. Buy this, buy that. And the other one wants to save. Right? So in order to avoid the fights, in order to avoid the issues in those couples, is to do what? To have a budget. Come to an agreement on this budget together. Right? Work on this budget together. Right? So I'm going to talk about here discretionary spending. Discretionary spending means, it simply means you have to put a limit on it, right? What I always suggest to couples, and that's what me and my wife do, is you have to talk and say, okay, let's set an amount that we both can spend without having to ask permission from the other person. Let's say you decide to set up $100. Right? If you set up $100 as your discretionary spending, it means your wife can get that shoe that she's always been getting. Right? She can get her nails done and whatever, right? So because you've agreed to only $100, right? That's your discretionary spending for both wife and husband. If you go over that budget, if you go over that discretionary spending, then you have to consult your partner. You have to call or talk about it. Say, hey, I know our discretionary spending is, let's say, $100, right? But I want to buy something that costs $250. Is that okay? Can we Can we squeeze it in our budget? This has to be discussed in order to avoid money problems. Because once you set a discretionary spending, you have to stick to it. You have to respect it. Otherwise, you guys are going to start fighting over money. So it's very important to set a discretionary limit that you guys are both going to agree to it and you guys can both follow. That's important. Don't just set up an amount that you're not going to follow and or accept, because then it creates issues. So money problem is the #1 cause of divorce in North America. Now, and I'm bringing a little bit remedy to avoid having money fights, right? Because most couples, almost all the couples, have some kind of issues on money, right? Some couples, they fight about money. It's normal. But what I'm strongly suggesting here is to do what? To have a sit-down talk. Communicate clearly about your spending, about your budget. Right? I've already given 4 points so far. The #1, I said, keep your cool. When someone else is getting upset, learn to nyamanza. Learn to cool things down so that things don't get overblown. In the heated of argument, even the Bible says it, during the heated of argument, you can say things you didn't mean to say. You can say things you didn't want to say, but they've already been said. And you can hurt your partner. You can create a grudge. Right? So avoid saying things when you're angry. In fact, there's an advice they always say: when you're angry, stay calm, because that way you're not going to be tempted to say things you didn't mean to say, to hurt your partner, your wife or husband. It's for both people, right? So you have to set a discretionary limit that you both have to agree on, and you have to respect it. Right? It has to be an amount that can be set freely without, you can spend that amount without any permission from your partner. If you guys agreed on spending, let's say $100 as your discretionary limit, that's fine. You can spend that $100 to buy whatever. But whenever it gets over that amount that you guys set, please talk to your partner. Call, have a sit down and see if it can be feasible in your budget. That will alleviate problems and fights over money. Right? So, if you go over that talk, as I said, and also another thing that shows, when you call your wife, when you call your husband and say, hey, honey, I know we set up a limit of $100 as our discretionary spending, but I'm spending a little bit over the $100. Is that okay? Or talk about it. The reason for that is it shows respect. Thank you, Mama Femi. It shows respect. Right? That shows that you value your partner. And whenever in a relationship, someone feels valued, someone feels appreciated, there's an easier way to deal with everything. Right? Have you noticed when someone addresses you with respect, how you are more into listening to him, how you are more enjoyable into being around with him? Because why? They treat you with respect. So you need to learn to treat your wife or husband with respect. When it comes to money, right? You have to learn to show value to your partner, right? So another thing, once you agree to a budget, you have to stick to it. Making a budget is very important. I said earlier and I will repeat it again. Failing to plan is planning to fail. You have to plan. You have to have a budget. You have to know every single dollar that goes out of your account and every single dollar that comes in your account. That's very important. So that's we're going to talk about that. So the 5th point we're going to talk about today to avoid money fights in couples is to do what? Replace the word you with I. This is huge, right? So replace the word you with I. The reason for that is you is if you come to your and say, you, weye, unayaka itilize pesa ovyo ovyo, weye, haufatake bije yetu, you. It's accusatory. It creates conflict, right? And every time it's just human nature. Every time someone feels attacked, every someone feels accused, they feel like they have to respond. They feel like they have to defend themselves. Do not put your wife, do not put your husband into a corner where they have to start trying to defend themselves and get themselves out of that corner. Right? Avoid the word you and start using I. And I will explain a little bit further. So it's a tactic to help diffuse conflict. When you avoid using you and I, you are trying to diffuse the conflict. right? And more people are more receptive. People listen to you better when you address them with I, right? So than accuse them of you, because you is very accusing, right? You know, you, where you. People are not gonna respond to you better. People are not gonna respond to you kindly, right? So it's better to avoid using you a lot of time, right? So avoid the blame game. Right? Avoid the blame game. Avoid blaming. Right? Instead of always, for example, I'm going to give an example. Instead of saying you always spend a lot of money with your girlfriend. Right? For example, your wife went out and you come and say, hey, you always unaendaka depase pesa mingi na bandugu yako mkienda shopping, mkienda ku Costco, mkienda ku Walmart. You guys spend too much money. You, right? You're spending too much money with your girlfriend. Instead of saying that, right? Say something like this, right? This is just an example you can use. Say, hey, I notice that you have been spending a lot of money. I notice that you have been spending a lot of money on drinks with your friends, right? And then you can say, do you think we can agree on a weekly limit, right? So find a way to soothe it. Don't accuse. Now, find a way to address it by saying, I notice. Instead of you are spending too much money. No. Say, I notice you've been spending too much money with your friend, right? How can we set a weekly limit? Now, and also, when you have this, you also have to have an answer. You have to have a solution to the problem, right? You cannot just say, I notice, you have been doing this, and you don't bring any solution. Bring a solution, right? Avoid using you and instead use I, right? As I say, put yourself in someone else's shoes. Treat somebody the way you would like to be treated. It's very key in marriage or in relationship or anything, right? Treat somebody the way you would like to be treated. If you like being treated with respect, learn to treat your partner with respect. And this is regardless of whether they are man or woman. Everyone, in a marriage, you need to learn to treat your partner with respect. You need to treat them with understanding and care and love, right? It's very important. When you do that, you alleviate a lot of problems. Avoid using a lot of you and instead of using I, right? Accusation. Avoid making accusation. Right? Find a way to solve these issues without using accusations. Right? Shifting from you to I increase empathy. Who knows what empathy is? Empathy simply means putting yourself in someone else's position. Right? Avoiding using you, instead use I. It creates empathy. Show that you care. If somebody shows that they care about you, you are more likely to listen to them. If someone shows that they care about you, you are more likely to change, right? At my work, they always say, when a supervisor calls you or a manager, they always use a way to diffuse a problem, right? How can we solve this issue? Well, we notice, I notice, you're struggling in this area. How can we solve it? How can I help? Right? Find a way, because your partner, you guys are married for life. Unless you are in these marriages, I don't know, contract marriage, I hear about them, I don't know, I've never seen them, where you don't really care about how your partner feels. Then you can say whatever you want to say. But if you really love your wife, if you really love your husband, if you really care about their feelings, you need to have empathy. Empathy is treating somebody the way you would like to be treated. If you like to be respected, then you need to treat others with respect. If you like to be appreciated, learn to appreciate your wife. For men who are listening, women love being appreciated. Learn to appreciate your wife. Please. Learn to. Women, they don't want a lot of things. And a lot of men, I don't understand. Oh, we young and Nishinda. This woman. All women want is to be appreciated. All women want is to be loved. And once you love a woman, oh my goodness. Kofi Olomide said, I don't care whether other men, look at my wife on the street and they say, oh, she's a beautiful wife, or whatever. I know I'm the only one who knows what makes her laugh. I'm the one who knows how to tickle her. Right? I'm the one who knows how to say the sweet stuff to her. And why? And what? And she will get happy. right? Treat your wife with respect. Treat your husband with love, right? Learn to respect. Learn to respect your partner, right? Have empathy. The way you would like to be treated, that's the exact same way you should treat your partner. You should treat your wife. It's very important. That will bring your marriage to a solid ground. I hope you guys are listening to me. Avoid shifting, avoid blaming. You have to shift from using I to I, shifting from using you to I. It lessens conflict, and you have to bring a solution. Say, hey, okay, do you want us to increase our discretionary spending? Because I've noticed you spending a little bit more. So couples have to learn to talk very often about money. I talk about money to my wife almost every single day. We eat together, right? So we talk about money. Hey, Sherry, you know what? I noticed, we need to increase our savings. We need to increase our investing. You need to have this conversation. Draw a budget. You should know how much money you should be using on food every week. You should know how much money you guys pay for rent, your bills. If there's any emergency thing that comes, on my previous video, we've talked about how to set up an emergency fund. So that already has been discussed. Please watch our videos on YouTube under Baraka Mulimbwa. You will see a lot of other things that we've talked about prior to this, right? So I want to say something. So financial stability, when you guys are good with your money, right? It brings different things in women and men. So I want you to listen to this carefully. Women, right? Women look at money as a thing that brings security, right? It brings comfort and security in them. Women feel secure when they know that their husband or their family deal with money properly, right? It's a thing of security. When you are in too much debt, when you are spending more than you can afford, when you are buying cars you can't afford just to show off, your wife is feeling insecure. And there's nothing you can do but to change how you deal with money. So for women, money management, better money management creates security, right? It's a thing that creates security, right? For men, now men look at money as a thing that brings esteem. Banyaneshimia mukominote. Nishafanya hivi. It brings esteem to men. For women, it brings security, right? So you have to understand that very clearly. For women, money brings security. For men, it brings esteem. Men want to be feeling big, because they have a lot of money. Have you seen a guy who's driving a very expensive vehicle? Have you seen guys who drive by a Hummer, right? Or these very expensive cars? They drive with their, arms out, right? They feel esteemed. They feel big. They feel important. But for women, money management, a good balanced house on finances, on a budget, it brings to them security. They feel secure. They feel protected, right? A man is there to protect his wife, right? A man is there to protect and bring security to his home, to his children. So one of the things that brings security is a life insurance. I have talked about this and I will talk again a little bit. Please, every family should have a life insurance. You need to learn how to protect yourself. Life insurance is like a blanket you put under a house. If anything happens, you are covered. And I've talked about life insurance and I will talk again more. There's different life insurance. There are life insurance that protects you and gives you a death benefit when you die. But there's also life insurance that will give you even return of your premiums even while you're still alive. Some people use life insurance as a mechanism for saving. Some people use their life insurance while they're still alive as a saving mechanism. So it's not just about dying. So don't confuse that. You need to have a good life insurance for your home. If you don't know where to go, please contact me, right? And I will direct you in the right place. It's very important for you to have a life insurance. And for your it protects your family. It's very important for you to have a will. We see a lot of people die and you hear, oh, but I want a will hapana. And the family becomes in disorder. It's because why? There was no preparation. You need to have a good life insurance. You need to have a will written. If in case something happens, what will happen afterwards? You need to create security, as I said, for your wife. And for men, for women, see money as a security thing. They feel protected. They feel comfortable. That's how women look at money. That's how you see a guy. It doesn't matter how a guy look. If the guy has money, women will come because they feel a sense of security with this guy. Right? You hear a guy say, "I don't want to be with a broken end." Right? They don't want to be with a broke guy because they don't see themselves secure. Right? Women want to feel secure. Women want to feel, comfortable. Men want to feel esteemed. Men want to be esteemed. Men want to be the boss. Right? Money brings esteem to men, but it brings security to women. Right? I hope you are understanding what I'm saying. Right? Avoid the blame game. Concentrate on getting your life back together, back on track. Concentrate on paying off your debts. Concentrate on getting a life insurance. Concentrate on getting a will. Concentrate on bringing security to your family. And this kind of things have to be discussed, right? So one of the ways, if you have a lot of debt, find a way to increase your income. Because with one income, Warren Buffett, I think, is the third or fourth richest person in the world. He said, you can never do anything with one income. You will never be financially stable with one income. In order for you to discover things you've never seen, to see the light in your eyes, you need to create a second income. It takes sacrifice, discipline. You have to create a second income in order to start enjoying some of the things about life. You need to learn about investing. I have talked here about Wealthsimple Trade, an app that I use to invest and buy stocks every single day. And I said earlier, my wife and I make about $50, give and take, a daily on Wealthsimple Trade. We find ways to create money with the application on our phone. A lot of people have money. A lot of people have application on their phone to send money away. There's 5 applications to send money away. Western Union, MoneyGram, all these applications to send money, but none to bring money in. You want to know about creating money in your own home on your phone? Talk to me. I will tell you about Wealthsimple Trade. On my videos on YouTube, there is a link. If you want to go there, click. It will take you where you can open an account and I can walk you through how it works. But you can be making money every single day, right? Start looking at long-term investing. That's huge. So failing to plan is planning to fail, right? Please start planning. Start talking about money with your wife. Start talking about your budget with your husband. Sit and talk as a family. Have empathy. Treat your wife, treat your husband the way you would like to be treated. And most people want to be treated with respect, right? I said have one account, right? I'm gonna finish the video because we are there. But I'm gonna give a little bit of a preview of what we talked about. How to resolve money problems is communication. Sit down together. But I gave 5 different points on that. I said keep your cool. Learn to lower the temperature when things are becoming heated in the house. When you start fighting over money, keep your cool and find a way to resolve your problems. Don't say things you didn't mean to say. Don't insult. Avoid getting into insult. Never insult your spouse. Never insult your husband. Never insult your wife. These women that tell their husband, "Wey, uko zero, uko zukolye," right? You are useless. That's bad. Bad language. Do not insult your partner. Treat your partner with the same respect you like to be given. That's empathy, right? So that's number 1, keep your cool. We said number 2, be open and transparent about your spending. Be open and transparent about everything you do when it regards to money. It creates trust, right? When you're not transparent with your budget, with your money, it undermines trust in the marriage. And it makes things toxic. Avoid creating toxic marriage in your life. Have a happy marriage. So that was number 2. The third thing we talked about today is learn to do it together. Learn to communicate with your partner. Learn to do things together. Make your budget together. Plan about how you're going to pay your bills. Plan about how you're going to help a family friend. Do it together. Everything that regards finances should be done together. You should just not be together with your wife in the bedroom. You have also to be together and do things together when it also comes to money. That's how couples that succeed avoid money fights. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel under Baraka Mulimbwa on YouTube, and you can see other previous videos. So that was number 3. Do it together with your partner, with your wife or with your husband. And number 4, we said agree to a budget. You need to make a budget that you both are going to agree on. And you need to create a discretionary spending. A discretionary spending is money you can spend without asking permission to your partner. Money you can spend without asking permission to your wife or husband. That's called discretionary spending. It can be a certain amount. And if you go over that amount, you have to talk to your wife, you have to talk to your husband before you go over your discretionary spending. It lessens problem. It creates trust. It creates accountability. It creates understanding. And your partner will see that you value them. Your wife will see that you value them when you have to ask them about spending more than what you agreed on. So that was number 4. And then we talked also number 5 about replace the words you with I. Right? Avoid saying you. It's more accusatory. Ni kuchongeana. Nobody likes being accused of doing something. Everyone likes to be understood. Right? So please use more I than you. And also find a solution. If your wife or your husband is spending more than the budget you agreed on, find a solution on how you guys can work that together. How you can incorporate it in your budget. Instead of accusing, set limits, right? Set limit, and shift stop putting the blame on your husband or on your wife. Learn to work together, right? Add a solution to a problem. Bring a solution when a problem comes. When it comes to your money, right? Stop using the word you and instead start using I. Please watch our other videos that we have done on money issues, money talk. And thank you so much for all those who have been watching us. We've come to an end. We're gonna be again next Sunday at same time at 7 p.m. We're gonna do another video on money talk. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and it will help your marriage thrive. We want to create thriving marriages. We want to create marriages that have respect. We want to create marriages that have understanding, right? We don't want people to be fighting over money. We don't want people to be divorcing over money. It can be done. It can be solved. Please learn to work together. Learn to do your budget together. Talk often about your money. Talk often about your goals, and everything will happen. God will bless you, and you guys are going to have a good and thriving marriage. Money is a very important subject. If you don't deal with it properly, you can end up single. You can break down your marriage, right? But if you talk about marriage, if you talk about money more often with your wife, with your husband, you can build a stronger marriage. So I want to thank everyone who's been watching us. Thank you so much, and we will talk more. God bless. Until next Sunday, please watch us again on Money Talk. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube and under Baraka Mulimbwa, and we will love that. Give us a good comment. Let us know what you want us to talk about, and we will discuss it. Thank you.